Welcome back to Johnny Custom Glocks Frontside Press with Yep and Cindy. We can say is the first Tuesday of the month. So we got a whole bunch of stuff. Get your beverage so we can do a toast, even though I forgot which one I was going to do, but we'll figure it out before we get there. And we got stuff to talk about, stuff they keep it secret from me, and they think I'm going to behave, and I'm not. So there you go.
It's not true. That's the exact opposite of what we said. The exact opposite of what we said.
Whatever.
Exact opposite. Exact opposite. So, well, we got to make some small talk to get. We got to make some small talk first to get our 18 subscribers to join in. How are you doing? You were sick last week. You feeling better?
Yeah. It's it's pain. Pain does bad things to me. So, but it's good to be back.
Emotional
in the chair.
Pain. Do you need to talk about it?
Yay! Well, you get hit by a drunk driver.
Ooh.
Yeah, bad days. That's why it's good to be. One of the good things about being in the house, even though I'd rather be in the studio, is that I can drink all I want. But why don't we thank our sponsor, Johnny Custom Glocks. Back in the groove, because life is too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. Like, he's got a lot of stuff going on right now. Everybody needs to be checking him out on social media, following him on Instagram, subscribe to him on YouTube. He's always giving away, like I've said over the years, he always gives away too much information. And so if you got a G-Lock, all right, you should be checking him out. Plus, if you got a G-Lock, then you shouldn't have a crappy-ass Glock trigger in it. So for you three that I could see, or you 2.5, because where do you snake away? I don't see him.
He's over there.
There he is. Listen.
Well, nobody's
next month we got our own GSSF match. Everybody's shooting in it. I don't care. All right, you guys got to show up and shoot. Be in the match. We're looking for people. We need volunteers. All right, to help run the match, to be in the booth, be on the range, sign people in, stuff like that. So let me know. Hopefully Julie will be watching. She's just got so much going on today that she's so exhausted. But hopefully she'll watch the show, and you guys can
She said
talk
hi,
to her.
so she's watching.
You already said hi. How come you got stuff?
I'm checking the comment. I'm playing the role of Julie tonight. I'll check the comments. Sean Hilton wants to know if he's
I can't figure it out. I don't know how she does it.
Sean Hilton wants to know if he won.
He always wins. I don't know why it's a waste of breath to even ask.
Win what? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. We talked about that.
Here's the deal. Sean sent me these. Like, I got a box, like Christmas, with a stack of them in there, and these new, and I didn't bring one up, but a new stand to just place your Glock in. Stuff like that. When Gabriel gets home, I'll have him go get one too. And we'll give one of those away too. He's got different colors. But these things, like I keep telling you, they're really cool. All right. If you clean your Glock and you work on it and stuff like that, it's so handy. All right. They're so handy. And, with holes to put the pins in and friggin' one to put the firing pin in, stuff like that. So, like, share, and comment, and subscribe to Musings with MGL on YouTube. All right, we got to get him over 1,000. Like, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, first of all, you should go there and subscribe to it anyways. But we need to get Musings with MGL over 1,000. So, where are you at right now?
Do. I picked up a couple of people, so 934 maybe or something. I'll have to look. I picked up a couple of people from last week.
We got to get you, you got to get on the show with Dr. Z, the one that I was on.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We got to do more stuff with those guys. So,
well, and I had somebody call me this week about restoring their rights that found me from the YouTube channel. So they were Googling how to restore your rights in Florida or whatever, and came across one of my videos and tracked me down and called me to talk about restoring their rights. So it's that's good that it's getting out there. So right, the more subscribers you get, it helps with the YouTube algorithm, et cetera, et cetera. When you hit 1,000, you get a little certificate or something, and then it bumps you into the ad market. So then maybe I can start subscribing or getting some sweet ad revenue or something. So yeah, please go to Musings with MGL, subscribe, tell all your friends about it, bring some people in. We had talked. I actually forgot to talk to Cindy about it last week, but we had talked about maybe giving away a gun trust this week or not. So I don't know if she wants to do that or not. I'm not going to put her on the spot. I said if she didn't want to, I would give one away this week as well. So we can give away a gun trust. It can either be either from her or from me. And then if you want to give away one of the blocks as well, you can do a couple of couple of drawings. Yeah, I meant to ask her last week, but I'm not going to put her on the spot. So we'll just say we're going to give away a gun trust. If she wants to be kind enough to do one, that's fine. If not, I'll do it. But we'll make sure somebody gets if somebody wants a gun trust. Now, if somebody's already got one, let's say you win and you already got one, you'd rather trade it in for one of the other blocks or a stand or something. You're free to do that as well. Just let us know in the comments or whatever you want to do.
Cindy, are you guys actually friends? Because if you are,
yeah,
Jeff and I,
you need to get some new friends, like a better quality of friend. That's all I'm saying.
It's not like we talk to each other every day.
Right.
Good thing you got me as a
usually
friend.
when there's weird legal stuff going on, or when we're on the show, or there's cases, or we're referring cases to each other or something.
Yeah. I'm not going to put her on the spot or anything. If she wants to give
not.
away a gun, if she doesn't, then I'll just
no. And of course, Jeff.
I'll be happy.
Jeff knows, of course, I will do a gun trust. Yes.
Yeah, I kind of figured that wasn't an issue. Well, and Mike, you had mentioned about the GSSF thing. Could we could have a table there? You mentioned we might be able to set up a gun lawyer table with some more stuff and talk to some people.
Just remind me tomorrow, and I'll make that happen. That'll be pretty cool to get you guys there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm planning on going. Obviously, they'll have to look at their calendar and see if they could go, because this may be the first they're hearing about it. But I already basically put it on my calendar, and I'd like to go there and have a table. So.
Yeah,
what's the date again? Throw it out.
I don't remember what day it was. Do you remember what day it is, Mike?
It's the 6th is a Friday, and it's the 7th and 8th. So volunteers get to shoot on the 6th if they want. And it's Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th. And like as far as the GSSF goes, like we're putting this together. We had to start over, and we're putting it together in like a month and a half. And I got to tell you, the guy, George Fish, that is like one of the directors, or he's in head of the, special event committee or whatever it is. Like, man, is he on point. Like we had a meeting Saturday, and I can't tell you, like I was there with Joe and Julie, and like the three of us were just like, this guy's on it. Like he is nailing this, even in the short time we have to put it together. You know, we are so far ahead of where we were. It's just he's really good at this. So it should be, help with Mike Ross, who runs a lot of the matches in Florida. Like this should be a good match, and it should only get better every year. So I'm very excited now compared to how I was feeling before, to be honest.
Great. Looking forward to it.
It's awesome.
Sean Hilton says, didn't Mike say he was going to give away a free full day lesson?
Yeah, free full day just for Sean. Like he's going to win anyway. So, write that $800.
Put his little, Julie, can you put his thing up on the screen, the Smoke Show website too? Thank him again. Oh, did you already do that? Okay. Yeah, I missed it. Just want to make sure that's where you get those things. You can win them free here by liking, sharing, and subscribing. But of course, you can go there and get a discount by putting in Front Sight Press. So get yourself those things. They're great. All right, we've hit maximum thing. I think we got like 15 people watching. So let's drink and then get into it.
We got 19.
19.
Not the 100 we had like 3 weeks ago, but all right, here we go. Let me see which one you're gonna need. Where'd it go?
That's because you weren't here. That's why. Now you're here this week and the numbers went back down.
No, 3 weeks ago. Where did I had one? Where'd it go? I don't know. We'll just use one we've used before.
Julie's
All right, ready?
got to be here for the toast. I told you this was going to happen.
She's just like my nanny. Like I can handle the toast.
Right.
Right.
I told you this was going to happen.
All right. Just because of that, I'm changing. I'm looking for another one now. May you always work like you don't need the money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like there's nobody watching.
I can't figure out which way to make my thing move.
When are we gonna do an outside one? Like when we gonna go someplace?
When it's not 110 freaking degrees out?
Well, we can go inside a building.
So January 5th, something like that.
What's that?
Oh, we could do a January 6th anniversary show somewhere.
Oh, we need to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. That's probably not a Thursday though, but maybe we can film it and just upload it.
Let me take a note and put it up on my Liberty safe that we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit. Like, don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun on that. We'll get the Liberty safe in January 6th.
Well, I don't know what's going on because I wasn't told.
Okay. Yes, you do. We told you. We told you what the topic was.
Oh, look,
we just didn't tell you the answer.
Let's do another toast.
You were asking questions before
It's a Saturday.
The show. You need to wait. Is it a Saturday? Yeah, it probably is.
What's that?
Yeah.
January 6th. Saturday.
Good. What bar are we going to go to? Somebody's going to want to have us.
Check with the brewery guys up the street. Aren't you friends with them up here in Lakewood Ranch?
Why don't maybe we can talk to Mark and do it at Mars Vision, have a band.
Yeah. Figure something out.
We need to stop planning that.
We got all these things to plan. Every time I ask you to go to lunch, you're never available, or I get stuck in mediation.
Oh,
And Mark doesn't answer any of our. Mark doesn't answer any of my lunch. Mark doesn't answer any of my lunch invites. So I've been trying to buy you guys lunch for like months, and nobody's available. I know, that's what I'm saying. I thought you guys were friends. You guys don't talk every day?
No, you don't answer my calls.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's all right.
It's like, oh, Kerry.
But Kerry just said he doesn't talk to her either, and she works for him or with him. So yeah, it's,
hey, do you know where Mark is? No. Okay, love you too.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh well. All right, so should we get into it? Are you ready? Are you hyped up? You need some more drinks?
Oh,
We're gonna save the explosive stuff for a little bit later. First, if anybody was watching last week, we had a couple of questions come up in the chat that I either didn't know or maybe kind of knew the answer to, but we figured we'd save it for this week when we had both the lawyers here. So we basically gave Cindy an assignment. So I did, Mike, fuck off, tell her what the assignments were so she could answer the questions tonight. So I did at least tell her that. Way ahead of you on that.
Yes,
assignment number one.
Last night.
Yes, last night, correct. Assignment number one was, what ammunition is illegal in the state of Florida?
Okay. So
do you have the answer?
We actually, yes, I do. There's actually a statute that addresses it. It's 790.31, and it's armor piercing or exploding ammunition or dragon's breath shotgun shells, bolo shells, or flechette shells prohibited. And what they mean by that, armor-piercing bullet means any bullet that has a steel inner core or core of equivalent hardness and a truncated cone, and which is designed for use in a handgun as an armor-piercing or metal-piercing bullet. So, there's that. Exploding
that would not
bullet.
include, obviously, that would not include steel shotgun shells, right? Because it says for a handgun.
No, it's for a handgun, right? This is strictly for use in a handgun.
Something that is designed, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cindy, all right? That is designed for a handgun. So if you have an AR pistol and you have black tip ammo, that's legal. Is that true?
Wait,
remember,
if you have an AR pistol.
I'm not a lawyer.
Wait a minute. But AR pistol, doesn't that normally have handgun caliber ammunition?
No, it has 5.56. Well, depending on
No,
what
it has
caliber you have.
5.56.
Well, then I would say no. I mean, it just says designed for use in a handgun.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's an
Okay.
argument you're going to end up fighting that in court. I mean I guarantee you that, because obviously on one hand we keep trying to argue that pistols are not rifles, that they're
Right.
pistols, which by definition is a handgun, I guess, are interchangeable. And so if you're going to argue on one hand it's a pistol, therefore it doesn't need, ATF thing or whatever because it's not a rifle, then you can't turn around and say, well, it's a pistol, but I'm putting rifle ammunition in it and it was designed for a rifle, so therefore I can't use it. It's a logical argument if you want to walk through the definitions, but my guess is you are going to end up fighting that in court.
Let me know if you ever need to fight that in court, because I could fight that in court. Coming down saying that ammo is not designed to be shot out of a barrel that size. So
Right.
It is not designed to be a handgun round, even though the mechanism of the rifle is a handgun,
Sure.
mechanism, because
Yeah.
the ballistics of it.
Well, see, and my thought too is technology changes constantly and the statutes don't keep up with things. So that's why, as Jeff says, things are argued in court all the time, because as technology changes and weapons change and ammunition changes, the statutes just can't keep up, which is good for the most part. But yeah, so armor piercing bullet. And I remember several years ago, that was a huge deal. I mean, everybody was banning armor piercing.
It became one of those slang words like, ghost gun or whatever. It just became slang for anything that wasn't like your normal round, like your normal round that you would find. Everything that wasn't a normal basic round got lumped into the armor piercing category because it was a scary phrase, obviously, that the anti-gun people or whatever could use, like assault rifle, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it became all the rage to talk about armor piercing bullets, even though they probably, they technically exist, I get, but they're not like readily available, I guess.
They're not in common use. I mean, they're not everywhere. Exploding bullet, that was kind of new to me.
Mike may disagree with that, but yeah.
What?
That they're not readily available in everywhere, but
I agree that they're not everywhere.
Okay, they're not everywhere. Okay. Yeah. I'm talking about the the ones that everybody was talking about several years ago.
Sure.
I don't think those were. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Exploding bullet means any bullet that can be fired from a firearm if such bullet is designed or altered so as to detonate or forcibly break up through the use of an explosive or, oh my God, some of these words, I don't even know what this is. Deflagrant?
Deflagrant.
Deflagrant, yeah. Contained wholly or partially within or attached to such bullet. Okay?
You're not familiar with deflagrant?
Huh?
You're not familiar with deflagrant?
What? I am not familiar with deflagrant.
Me neither.
Are you?
Really?
I've never heard of the word.
You don't know what deflagrant is?
No. I'm guessing.
Idea what that means, but I just want to ride
that. Isn't that when you hit the quarterback in the helmet with your own helmet and it's like 15 yards?
Deflagrant. Yeah, it's a deflagrant foul.
That could be
right.
Deflagrant.
Yeah. Yeah. You get 15 instead of 10. Yeah.
The term does not include any bullet designed to expand or break up through the mechanical forces of impact alone, or any signaling device or pest control device not designed to impact on any target. So basically, if there's something inside that makes the bullet blow up, on purpose. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. If it blows up on accident, is that okay?
Well, I don't know. I think the bullet has to be designed.
And by accident, it blows up.
No,
is that all right?
I think it has to be designed to blow up.
All right, now all I got to do is figure out how to put an accidental blow up in my bullets, and I'm good.
Yeah, and find out if there's a deflagrant contained wholly or partially within.
I don't want it to be deflagrant.
Okay.
That's true.
So that's an exploding bullet. Those are illegal in Florida. And this is another thing that was new to me. I'd never heard of. Dragon's breath shotgun shell.
Do you know what that is?
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
It's magnesium. It's magnesium, so when you shoot it, it lights on fire. And it's not like it's a flamethrower, but it shoots like a bunch of sparks. And the reason why you can't use it is because it'll burn down the fucking state of Florida.
Yep. And that's pretty. Mike kind of hit the nail on the head here. They use a bunch of big words, but basically it says it means any shotgun shell that contains exothermic pyrophoric metal as the projectile, and that is designed. Yeah. And that is designed for the sole purpose of throwing or spewing a flame or fireball to simulate a flamethrower.
But the good news is flamethrowers are legal. You can't simulate a flamethrower, but you can have an actual fucking flamethrower. So that's good.
Yep.
Julie
then there's
had
a bolo shell.
Mercury tipped. I don't know where she got that idea.
I don't know. An exothermic pyrophoric metal.
Deflagrant.
I mean, exothermic, I know that means heat. Pyrophoric, that kind of means to me big lights and stuff, but whatever. Okay, so that's a dragon's breath shell.
Deflagrant basically means something. It's an adjective that means burns with intense light and heat. So gunpowder is kind of technically a deflagrant because it's a mixture of a solid fuel such as charcoal with a solid oxidizing agent, blah, 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 blah. So deflagrant is basically, sounds to me like a dragon's breath thing, like anything that basically burns with intense heat and light.
I'm glad you explained that because later on tonight I was going to be walking out of the bathroom going, don't go in there. It's kind of deflagrant in there. So,
yeah. Deflagration is a subsonic combustion in which a premixed flame propagates through an explosive or a mixture of fuel and oxidizer. Deflagrations in high and low explosives may or may not transition to a detonation depending on confinement and other factors. That's from wikipedia.com, bitches.
Who thinks up these names?
It's actually, the root is Latin. So it is deflagrate with one of those little whoopty things over the E or whatever is the Latin meaning, and it means bright light and flame or whatever. Okay. So they basically just took it from the Latin word, made it an English word, and then stuck it in a gun statute. So there you go.
Yep. And because we use that word all the time. All right. So the other ammunition that's illegal is something called a bolo shell.
You know what that is?
Yep.
I know what it is.
Do they shoot out with a string between them and they wrap around your leg, Batman style, and down you fall?
Yep.
They're more like this big and do more damage. Like, here's the deal. This thing is like, I understand that you can't make bullets to explode inside people. All right. I understand. Like, I don't understand flechettes. Like, oh, you don't want to shoot that at them because they're pointy. Oh, compared to regular shot, like, is it going to do more damage, right? And then bolo round, you don't want to put the wire, because it's so much better, so much worse getting shot by 2 pieces of lead balls connected by a wire than it is by 36 number 4 shot, coming out of the gun.
Or a hollow point that spreads apart and kind of goes throughout your body. Yeah.
Again, I think it's all just scary things that people just said, no, we don't need them. We're going to ban them. So the bolo shell, as Mike said, it expels as it's any shell that can be fired in a firearm and that expels as projectiles 2 or more metal balls connected by solid metal wire. So that's a bolo shell.
So
as
Batman would be
opposed to a
fucked because that's like everything that's in his utility belt.
Right.
Yeah. And then a flechette shell sounds similar. It's any
That's just
shell
a
that can
bunch
be
of
fired
cracks.
in a firearm that expels 2 or more pieces of thin, stabilized, solid metal wire, or 2 or more solid dart-type projectiles.
Nope.
They both sound pretty awful, but yeah, they all sound like something Batman uses.
Yeah, they sound like some middle-aged shit that they were using like in the 1500s
Exactly.
to repel the invaders over the thing. Throw a bunch of sharp things inside of a tube and light it on
Cannon and
fire and
shoot
see
it.
what comes out the other side. Right, yeah, exactly.
Well, you can't
Somebody's
do
seen
that.
the
'cause they
apocalypse
do
when
that.
they make their, like the video games where they make their homemade projectile guns in the apocalypse because they can't find freaking ammo anymore. So they just stuff nails in the end of a barrel and shoot
Pirates
it.
of the
Yeah.
Caribbean. That's
Yeah,
what they did
that's
on
what I'm saying,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
They
Just
always do
stuff the
that shit.
cannon.
Yeah, just stuff anything.
That's
Put
it.
silverware in there and just
Right.
shoot it off. Right.
And they did the Civil War. They did the same thing. They put whatever they could in the cannon. So anyway,
Probably when the statute was
possessing
written.
any of these, using any of them, manufacturing any of them are felonies.
About
Different
but doesn't
degrees
talk about
of felony.
possessing them.
No, possessing too. Possessing's a felony.
Possessing, selling, manufacturing. Yeah.
Yep. Anything to do with them, except getting
Julie
shot by
wants to
one.
know about mercury tip bullets.
I don't know.
Is it on the list?
Tip bullets.
I can tell you right now,
that was the list.
you can't have mercury tip bullets.
Yeah.
I'm not going
Well,
to
I
let you
wouldn't
know
think
how I know that. But you can't.
Okay.
You can't do that.
Can you
can't
have
put
poison
poison
tip
in them.
bullets?
It's a bunch of crybaby laws. Like, you should be able to poison your bullets. That's all I'm saying. Oh, that would be bad if you shot somebody with poison. No, it'd be fucking bad if you shot somebody. Let's just start there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, how come all those like tribes and stuff can dip their little blow darts in the poison and shoot you with it? That's perfectly fine, but I can't do that with my 9mm. What the fuck?
Look, here's the deal. I got a way around this, right? That'll make everybody happy. If you have poison dip bullets, you have to put a sign outside your house that says, if you break in my fucking house, I will shoot you with poison fucking dip bullets. There it is. If you don't want to get shot with a poison dip bullet, don't fucking break into my house. I don't see what the problem is here. Like, how do I make this a law? You guys
look, the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment doesn't say shall not be infringed, comma, unless you dip your bullet in, mercury or something. So I don't,
Really?
I'm right there with you.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm right there with you.
Well, we'll go back to the sword rule because I can never get enough of the Florida sword rule. You can carry whatever sword you want as long as you only use it for defensive purposes. Yeah, no shit. Because if you use it for offensive purposes, it's already a crime.
Well, that's
I'm
anything.
just saying.
It could be a bat. Could be a tire iron. Could be your fist. Your fist you're not allowed to use for offensive purposes, and I carry those around with me everywhere I go.
So why can't we have mercury dip, mercury-filled bullets if we only use them for defensive purposes? I bet you Polk County they can use them.
Cody John says every bullet is poisonous if it hits you in the face.
There you go. That's my point.
Well, I mean, think about this too. If you hit somebody in the colon, you've now just poisoned them too.
Oh,
right?
You want to give somebody cancer.
Because if you hit somebody in the colon,
you're shooting people in the ass.
It spreads the nastiness throughout the body.
To the asshole, one to each cheek. I mean, what training are you getting?
I'm not talking about the butt. I'm talking about the intestines and the colon, not the butt colon.
There's other ways you can get to the colon, Mike. You sick bastard.
I'm not a doctor. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even know how I... The only reason I got on this show with you guys is because I used to be the host. It used to be my show.
There's a 1 in a million shot, Doc. 1 in a million shot. Literally, 1 in a million shot, Doc. Name that reference.
I'm going to tell you this. I worked, like I used to do
You know the
undercover
reference, name in the chat.
undercover stings with the ATF, right? And I worked with their goon squad. Or no more. I worked with their goon squad, and these guys were not what you see on friggin' Instagram, all right? One of these guys that I worked with was down in Puerto Rico undercover and got in a gunfight with a drug lord, right? He had a 228, a SIG 228, and the drug guy had a SIG 226, and they were firing at each other, and the guy shot into his barrel. Like the bullet went into the barrel and hit his bullet on the way out of the barrel.
Holy cow.
He used to carry it. It was like a rectangle of lead with a line like basically like that where the two bullets hit and mushed. And they sent the gun to SIG to give it because the gun was useless because the bullet stuck in it, And they said that it was a 1 in 20 million chance that you could shoot around into the barrel. Never mind hit another bullet coming out of the barrel in the barrel. So he got shot. He got shot right here and then got shot in the barrel. So how's that?
It's crazy.
But he never went to anybody's house. He got their liberty safe, I'll tell you that.
What about a shotgun shell full of rice and rock salt?
It's not illegal in Florida. It's not on the list.
Question in the comment. How about a shotgun shell full of rice and rock salt?
You know what's better than rice and rock salt, though?
Yeah, steel.
If you put lead fucking shot in there.
Right. Yeah, steel. Right. Normal. I'm telling you, I'm going to say this now, and then we'll move on to the next topic. I don't know if you've seen it yet, and I've talked about it before, but if you have Netflix, you have to go watch the Dave Chappelle special, Sticks and Stones. It came out like a year and a half ago. There's a whole segment in there about shotguns because he never owned a shotgun before, and he goes into a Walmart to buy a shotgun, and he goes through this whole conversation he had with the guy behind the counter about what kind of ammo you need. Right. Yep. Which one do I want? Yep. Yeah. And then he tells a story about the meth heads breaking into his house and how he used the shotgun. It's a hilarious, 20-minute bit about shotguns and shotgun shells and home protection. So if you have Netflix, go watch Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones. It is one of the funniest 15 minutes about firearms you will ever see in your life. So go watch that. I'd pull the clip and play it here one time, but we'd probably get copyrighted.
He's hilarious.
I guess we could watch it and then comment about it, and then that would fall under fair use. And so then they couldn't copyright us for it. So that'd be hilarious because it's actually hilarious. All right, so let's move on to the next topic because we want to get to Liberty Safes, and it's already 8:39. Time flies when you're bitching about ammo.
Yep.
All right, the next assignment was What is the definition of what word, Mike?
Flagrant or deflagrant? Is that it?
Oh, topic number 2.
No, treason.
Oh, treasonous bitches?
What's your favorite word? Yes. The question was, what is the actual definition of treason in the Florida statute that would allow you to use force, the threat of force, or deadly force to prevent the forcible felony of treason? We're always talking about it. We even got shirts that say it.
You guys are always making fun of me because that. But what is number one forcible felony?
It is. It's number 1. We talked about it last week. It's number 1. But what is treason? So let's hear it.
Interestingly, we have no death penalty in Florida for treason. Okay. So you may say
so
this is what treason. Our statute for treason is 2 sentences long.
I was going to say, do you even have a definition of it? I was always wondering.
Yep. Treason against the state shall consist only in levying war against the same, or in adhering to the enemies thereof, or giving them aid and comfort. Whoever commits treason against this state shall be guilty of a felony of the 1st degree, punishable as provided in statute, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
first statute. First degree is
Statute,
30
blah, blah,
30 years.
blah. No less than 5.5 and not more than 30 years.
Right. It's a first degree felony, so the max you can get is 30 years on a
Max you can
first
get
degree
is 30.
felony, and it probably has a min-man, which is the 5.5. So if it's no less, that's a
But
min-man.
you
Not all
use
5.5.
deadly
first degree felonies
force
have min-mans.
to stop it.
I saw nothing about that. I mean,
It's a
is it
forcible
on the
felony.
list of forcible felonies?
Yeah,
Jeff?
it's number one.
It's
Yes,
number
correct.
one.
It is. It's a true statement.
So,
It's before
again,
murder
I
and
mean,
sexual battery. It's on there.
yeah, and
But
arson
the
and all
definition of
that.
treason in Florida is only giving aid basically in time of war. Like you have to be at war
Yeah.
with.
We're all going to be
An
at war.
enemy,
There's a bunch of treasonous bitches in our
basically.
government right now.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
says foreign. Does it say foreign? What does it say again?
No, it just says
Treasonous
treason
bitches. That's what it
against
says.
the state shall consist only in levying war against the same. So somebody has to be in war with Florida.
Florida.
Okay,
right.
it could be
If they're at
Georgia.
war with California,
If
we don't give a
Georgia
shit. But if
goes
they're at
to
war with Florida, right?
and then your neighbor
It's
helps
happening right now.
Georgia, then you can shoot them.
Right. It's basically collaborators in a war. If you're collaborating
Yeah.
with the enemy during a war, basically, you can do it. So I don't think that covers if you think they're at war with your school district over transgender students, or if you think they're at war with the Disney or something like that. I think it literally would probably have to be physical war
Declare
from a
war. Yep,
foreign
physical war.
thing outside of the state of Florida.
Don't
Right.
go to
It doesn't
war
say
with my
foreign,
kids.
but I mean, if the governor or something did it, I don't know if you could, like, if the governor decided to declare martial law and you said that's treason, it wouldn't fall into the definition of treason because it's not a war from an outside entity or whatever. So,
Right.
My
It's
kid's school raffled off a Johnny Custom Glocks Veritas Training Academy
yeah,
Glock 19 custom self-defense pistol this week.
nice.
Probably don't want to go
just
against
so you know,
school.
from the federal definition, levying war, which I'm sure Florida would use the same definition, levying war means the assembly of armed people to overthrow the government or to resist its laws. Enemies are subject of a
Resist
foreign
its
government that is in open hostility with the United States. This is the federal law, but Florida is using the same terms. So anyway, it's got to be armed
Resisting its laws.
overthrow of the Florida government.
I seem to know a bunch of the treasonous bitches resisting our laws. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
I don't know.
and they have to be the subject
I don't know a lot
of a
about
foreign
law.
government, meaning a
And
not
a
Florida
what?
government. So I don't think we can go around killing people because of
Political disagreement.
Because they're
But we
treasonous
can-
bitches.
yeah. All you can do
I'm
is
not a
call them
lawyer, so
treasonous.
don't take law advice from me.
We have an
But treasonous
extensive,
bitches,
yeah,
treasonous bitches.
we have an expansive definition. We have an expansive definition of treason that most likely does not fit the Florida or the federal government's definition of treason.
I'll write an
So
expansion on that.
Mike's not a lawyer, so disclaimer.
Don't take legal advice from me.
And we're not giving legal advice either. I'm just saying probably not a good idea. All right,
is
so
just
that's
a-
the answer to our questions. We're down to 16 minutes. We got to get in. We got to get into this. So Liberty Safe. Let's just jump right into
One
it.
second.
Hurry up, go.
Treasonous
Take
bitches. All right, go ahead.
No, but it's not a foreign. They're supporting the FBI though, which is actually an internal fucking company. So if you want to make an argument the FBI should go away, I'm fully behind that argument. But it's obviously not an enemy at war. So Liberty Safes. All right, pull up, Carrie, if you could, for one. All right. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to run through the concept real quick, and then I'll let Cindy kind of talk about what she thinks her issues are and everything else. But for those of you who don't know, Liberty Safe is now under really big fire by gun owners and conservatives and even, the MAGA country. I saw one of the article today. MAGA country finds its next victim. But basically, for those of you who don't know, this is their statement. I'm not going to read it word for word. I'll just sum it up. Basically, it's come to light that Liberty Safe has a policy that if they get a phone call from a law enforcement agency, in this particular case, it happened to be the FBI who was investigating a January 6th suspect, and that law enforcement company calls Liberty Safe, and if they have a warrant to get into a person's safe, Liberty will voluntarily give them the reset access code to that safe so they can go into the safe, again, pursuant to a warrant, and take out all the items and stuff that are in the safe. So it's not a situation where there's a warrant for the records of Liberty Safe, and that Liberty Safe has to provide them. They're not going into the office of Liberty Safe and finding codes. They get a warrant for John Smith to search his house, and they're going through his house and they find a safe that they don't know the code to. If they call Liberty Safe and give them a copy of the warrant, Liberty Safe will voluntarily give them the reset access code so they can get into the safe. So needless to say, a lot of people on the pro gun side are angry about that. They're saying that Liberty's violating Second Amendment rights by cooperating with the FBI, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the first part of it, and then we'll get to the second part of it in a little bit. But in summation, that's what's going on. So Cindy, take it away. You got legal thoughts on that, personal thoughts on that. You go, and then Mike can start yelling at everybody.
I'm not going to yell at anybody.
My legal thoughts are exactly what you just said. That warrant was not addressed to Liberty. In other words, the as far as we know, because nobody has actually seen the warrant, but based on the way Liberty worded their little apology, well, not apology, but their little publicity thing there.
Statement, right? Yeah.
Their little statement. It implies that, just as Jeff said, the warrant was for the safe or the contents of the safe. It wasn't to Liberty. So Liberty was perfectly within their rights, if they had wanted to say, screw you guys, we're not giving you that. That's not a warrant for us to provide you with that information. Liberty says that their internal procedures, this is what they do. And that's where everybody got up in arms, and I agree. I mean, I think what they did was egregious.
Mike?
My turn?
Yeah. And then I'll talk about the legality of it on the backside, but you go.
Here's my personal opinion, right? Which isn't worth shit, okay? But I'll let you know how I feel about this. If you buy a safe from a fucking company that says, hey, if the FBI comes to us, we're going to give them the access code, all right, then that's your fault. Like, do I agree with what they did? No, all right? But everybody has a right to tell Liberty to go fuck off and go buy somebody else's safe. And that's what everybody should do, right? Am I upset at Liberty? I don't like what they did, but they're letting you know this is what we're going to do.
Well, they're letting you know now. I guess the issue is nobody knew about this policy until this case became public, because it's a January 6th case, and that's why it's all over the newspapers. But if you buy a safe from them and there's nothing on their contract that says, oh, by the way, if the FBI comes, we're going to give them what the code is, and people just think that it's going to be private, and then they find out that it's not. I mean, they shouldn't buy anything going forward, but you can't blame the customer for not knowing that wasn't their policy. If it was a super secret policy that only got exposed to the newspaper.
They got a fucking pamphlet that says, this is what we're going to do.
No, they don't.
This is the first time
it says
anybody has ever heard of this.
Nobody knew about this. I think people knew that Liberty, I think owners knew that Liberty would have that code. So if they ever got locked out, forgot their combination, whatever, the owner could go to Liberty and get that reset code. Okay? Right. Nobody expected Liberty to be just doling out the information to anybody who asks, just because they have a search warrant. So I think that's where the issue comes up. But we did see that now they're backtracking.
Well, first of all,
Right.
what did they find in this guy's safe?
Well, nobody knows the story at this particular point, like afterwards. Like Cindy said, nobody has a copy of the warrant. They don't know what they found in the safe. And my guess is it wasn't a specific warrant for the safe. It was probably a warrant for the house. And inside the house is the safe. So all the warrants, if you ever read them, say the house and any of its contents, any locked containers or whatever. So they were probably searching the guy's house looking for any evidence that he was involved in January 6th. I'm sure they were taking his cell phones and his computers and everything. And then they come across a Liberty safe in his house somewhere and they want to search it. So I don't think there's probably an allegation that he like brought a gun to January 6th and they're trying to find a gun. I think they're trying to search the safe pursuant to a broad search warrant that probably told them they could search everything in the house, which is usually what happens. And the issue is it's not even just the FBI. Their statement says law enforcement in general. So it could be Podunk County Sheriff's Department down to whoever would just go in there and call Liberty Safe and they would release it. Now, if Liberty Safe's policy is that, and they make it clear up front to anybody who buys a safe, maybe if it is in a pamphlet or if it's in a big old sticker on the front of your safe that says we're going to keep the reset code, however, we reserve the right to share this with law enforcement upon request or whatever, then you're right. That's on people who buy those things and buyer beware. But if they didn't tell anybody about this, it's simply an internal policy that now is out because of this January 6th newspaper article, then that's bullshit as well.
Yep.
And don't buy Liberty safes because this is what they do. It's as simple as that.
Well, going forward, everybody knows. Now it's a well-known thing, yeah. And people should make their own decisions.
Right. Going forward, people know. But now today, Liberty Safe
came
put
up
out
number
with
2.
a way that owners now.
You can talk about it, Cindy. We'll put it up here and then people can read it. But yeah. Pull up like 2 and then put 3 and then put 4. It says it's one statement, but it's broken up into 3 parts. But while they put it up, Cindy, you could tell people what their change in policy is.
Okay. So basically what they're saying now is you can opt out of them keeping your code to your safe, but you have to contact them, fill out a form, blah, blah, blah. So like I said, it's a physical opt-out thing. If you do nothing, they're going to keep the code and they're going to keep giving it to law enforcement. But it says you can opt out now.
Will late for that,
really opt out?
This is Bud Light and that dipshit that they use for marketing.
Yeah, this is going to hit them like Bud Light 100%. You're going to see their sales tank over the next couple of months and their every price is going to plummet by several points. There's no question that that's going to happen because this is everywhere. It's on every Facebook site I'm on, every Ammo Land article. I mean, Skinny even texted me about it and says, "Hey man, you got to talk about this at a topic so everybody knows about it." They're definitely going to get hit.
Oh shit, he called me the other day and I forgot to call him back.
So so there's a couple changes they made. Website. Yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
Oh no, I was going to say the screenshot that's up there, it gives the website. Yeah. You can go on the website and request to have your access code expunged.
Right. Well, and the second change is, which is a bullshit change, is on this third one here. This third one says, we have also revised our policies around cooperation with law enforcement. Going forward, we will require a subpoena that legally compels Liberty Safe to supply access codes, but can only do so if these codes still exist in our system. So that's bullshit, number one, because it's actually easier to get a subpoena than it is to get a freaking warrant. Because for a warrant, you need probable cause that there's a crime and you got to have a specific person or whatever. Subpoenas, they don't even necessarily have to be issued by courts. They can just be issued by state attorneys and prosecutors. Like, you hear about the subpoenas in the federal cases all the time. Those don't even come from a judge. Subpoenas freaking come from law enforcement. The local sheriff's department sends subpoenas to like Facebook and AT&T all the time when they have like a local case that they're trying to get stuff from. It doesn't even require they don't all require a judge's subpoena or a signature. Some of them do. So saying that they're going to get a subpoena is actually worse than saying that they're waiting for a warrant because it's easier to get. And they don't have to comply with a subpoena. Think about the famous case recently, 5 or 6 years ago with Apple, when they had those alleged terrorists and they had their Apple phones and they wanted to break into it to see what they were doing and they didn't have the code and they tried to get the code from Apple and Apple told them to fuck off. and fought that all the way through court and got a ruling that said they didn't have to turn it over. So here you have a left-wing liberal company like Apple, even though I'm talking to you on a Mac right now, but they're a left-wing liberal company like Apple. And they said, no, we're not going to turn that over because we value the privacy of our companies. But then you have an allegedly conservative company like Liberty Safes that makes firearm safes that's just handing out freaking codes whenever law enforcement have a warrant. Now they're just going to do it whenever they get a subpoena, and there was no indication there that they're going to fight the subpoena. So they're doing the Bud Light thing. They're trying to walk it back by putting out a Patriot commercial with a Clydesdale in it, thinking people are going to forget about all the nonsense that they just did prior to that, and it's not going to work. It's just going to piss people off more.
Yeah,
my opinion. That's my rant about it. But so the legality of it is they don't have to do it. The warrant is for the person. The warrant is not for the company. So they had no legal obligation to turn those codes over to law enforcement just because they have a warrant. A warrant means nothing to them, and they have no legal obligation, in my opinion, to just automatically turn it over with a subpoena. Now, it could get to a point where they say they don't want to comply with the subpoena, and then somebody could do a motion to compel, and you could theoretically throw the CEOs in jails or whatever. But again, Apple did that, and the FBI gave up on it because they didn't want to do it. And with they having a warrant, they don't need the code. The warrant gives them the right to basically break into the safe. They can get a locksmith to break into it or whatever they want to do. It's easier to call and get a code, obviously, than spend a couple hours. And then now the county's got to pay for a guy to come down. The FBI's got to pay for a guy to come down and break into the safe. So it was just an easier way for law enforcement to do it. And I think Liberty was trying to be pro law enforcement and try and be the good guy or whatever at the expense of their customers, and it's going to completely blow up in their face.
Yeah, I think so too. And well, we have 2 Liberty safes, and I do love the safe, but I'm very disappointed in the company. But the other thing, this is what you're going to hear from the anti-gun people, though, is what you're going to hear is, well, if you're not going to do anything wrong, why do you care if they give the code to the cops?
Not the point.
Because they don't understand protecting people's rights. You protect the rights of the bad guys as well as the good guys.
This is what everybody doesn't understand, right? You either fight for your freedom or you don't. Like, if you want to be a candy-ass pussy, that's fine, all right? But don't come at me because I don't want to be there. Does it, like, that's it. You either want to fight for your rights or you don't. And if you don't want to fight, then just go cry in the fucking corner where you belong, okay? And just stay the fuck out of my way. It's as simple as that, right? Oh, well, do you really? Are you doing it? Like, fuck off. Like, here's the deal. I'm not doing anything wrong. You're still not fucking searching my safe. Like, to be honest, I don't have anything in my safe. And I'm still not going to fucking let you look in there. Like, kiss my ass. Whatever. Like, I know I'm at the end of this bottle of Jack Single Barrel, so I'll be careful on what I'm saying because in my brain, it's saying a lot worse than kiss my ass. But we'll just stick with kiss my ass, okay? Like, you can't have it. My empty safe is mine, and you can't get in it. Bring me a warrant. You got a warrant? I'll let you in it.
Well, they had a warrant. But that doesn't mean you have to provide them the code. The warrants don't do that.
Give them the code to get into
Correct.
it, right?
The warrant means absolutely nothing to Liberty. The warrant literally means nothing to Liberty. They were just doing that voluntarily. All right, I'm going to answer. Lena asked a question. We're going to answer that real quick. We're going to do our drawing, and then we're going to shut it down because I know Carrie needs to.
Quick, like and share, like and share. Go subscribe and comment that you shared because some of you got us locked down. All right, go get them, Jeff.
So the question is, can law enforcement drill the lock or force the safe open regardless of manufacturer? Yes, the answer is yes. If they have a warrant to search the house and all the contents therein, they have the right to get into that safe by basically any means necessary. Like you see all these videos where they go in and they cut your couches open and look behind stuff. Like they're allowed to do all that stuff. So if you don't provide them the code and they can't get it, they have a right to try and break into it. So the answer to that is yes. All right. So you want to bust the deal and spin the wheel?
Give people one last chance. Like and share. Like and share.
Share,
Comment. To win one of these
subscribe.
ridiculously badass.
Are we going to do 2
Block,
draws? One for a
armor,
trust and
block.
one for that?
What's that? Yeah,
We're
we're
going to
going
do
to do
2
2.
spins? All right, one for the
One for
trust
a
and one
trust.
for the plaque.
I hope I win. I
Got
hope I win. I hope I win. Tim's like, you ain't going to do the fucking paperwork anyways. I don't know why you're so excited.
Subscribe to Music with MGL, and you'll get an extra entry. So if you do that, let us know that you subscribed.
Well, there you go. So now that I'm
What's the deal?
about to take
Spin the
my
wheel.
last sip of that bottle. But those are my feelings on all the things we talked about. And I think you should be able to dip your bullets, you know, take mercury, put it inside, and then cap it. I'm just saying, as long as you put a sign out front of your house that says, if you break into my house, I will shoot you with mercury-tipped bullets. Now, if we take one of them, we put it inside a pilgrim round, I'm going to have to call James about that and see what would happen. But you know what?
So you would like to take a mercury-tipped bullet and shoot treasonous bitches that may possibly work for Liberty Safe Company?
I'm not saying that.
No, he does not want to do
Not
that.
that
Absolutely
it's a good
not.
idea.
Nobody
I'm
is.
just
It's
saying.
a joke. YouTube algorithm. That's a joke. Nobody's calling for such a thing.
Oh, you meant that as a joke? Okay. Let me.
We're
yeah.
just tying in
funny.
all the topics for tonight. Just tying in all the topics. It's a joke. Calm down, YouTube.
Yeah, we're funny about everything. And we don't really want to shoot treasonous bitches. I'm just saying, some treasonous bitches need to be shot, but not by good people. I'm just saying. We would never do that. Like, we would never tell people to shoot treasonous bitches, right?
Right.
Yeah, let's spin it.
All right. Wrap it up. Spin the wheel. Let's get out of here. She's got to go at 9. There's a lot of people. Look at all those fucking names. Spin that bitch. Is that my name? Is that my name? Is that my name?
Hey, Lisa Newman.
Got you a block.
So do we give her first choice of which one she wants?
Yeah, she gets. I'll tell her what the colors are.
Yeah,
She's got a SIG anyways.
Well, but she may want to trust.
Maybe
Too,
Al's
so
good.
she can have first choice of which thing, and then the other person gets whatever's left.
Another thing, if you guys don't have Glocks and you want to shoot in a match, let us know because we got a ton of Glocks. You know why? Because we fucking win a lot, and they give you free guns when you win at the GSSF. All right.
All right.
What's that?
What? Yeah, spin it a second time. Lisa can pick what she wants first, and then whatever she doesn't pick, this person's going to get.
I'll talk to Lisa.
Oh, Sean, you're that close. Oh, it is Sean. Spin again.
So here's the deal, Sean. Like, if Lisa wants a gun trust, you guys are going to have to do a gun trust for her and gun trust for Sean.
Sean doesn't have a trust.
Sean deserves something. And
well, Sean can have one regardless. He doesn't need to win. Spin it again. If Sean wants a trust, I'll give Sean a trust. I won't charge it for it. Spin it again. Let somebody else. Yeah, spin it one more time. If Sean wants a trust, he can just message me and he can have a trust. I won't charge him for it.
Awesome.
He should have one by now. If he doesn't, that's weird. If he ever wants one, he just has to message me.
Come on, baby.
You're gonna have to pay for your trust.
Woo! Mike McGowan. There it is.
There you go.
That's my sister. That's Runt.
Awesome.
I will send her something. She's coming down. She's flying all the way down here to shoot in a fucking GSSF match. And you people out there are thinking about whether you want to do it or not. Flying down from the communist wealth, if they will let her fucking escape. They're going to escape, be free, come here and shoot the match, and then go back to prison. I mean, Massachusetts. That's all I'm saying. and you
All
guys
right.
are trying to decide if you want to shoot in a match or not. You know
If that's what she wants.
what's that?
If she wants one.
Lisa was asking if she won the gun trust. I said if that's what she wants.
Yep, she'll be down here. We have 114 people watching right now.
Yeah, whichever one either one of them wants. If they both want a trust, we'll make sure they both get a trust. If they both want a block, they can have a block. One wants one and one wants the other. They can choose which one they want.
These
Sounds
things
good.
rock.
All right, like and share, comment, subscribe, users of MGL. Thank you, Cindy, for being here as always on the first Tuesday of the month. Lots of good topics for
Cindy,
tonight.
we love
We'll see
you
if we
very
have any
much.
assignments for you
And that's
next
Stud
week.
Muffin you're married to.
Do what you want with your Liberty Safes. Free country. Peace out.
Peace. Thank you.